So we are going to be ironing the edges of our fabric today. We're going to be using our seam gauge. This is so we can measure correctly. It's just like our ruler for sewing. What you're going to be doing is with the seam gauge, you'll figure out where the 1/4 of an inch mark is. And if you look, you can see that I have this red sliding piece to the 1/4 of an inch mark. So I'll just adjust that. What you're going to do is you'll line this up with the inside of the fabric, and you will fold the fabric over to where it hits a 1/4 of an inch mark, like here. Then I usually take this seam gauge out. Then with my iron, I'm going to press the section that I've measured that's a 1/4 of an inch. Once I get that nice and creased, then I'll lift up and I'll move my fabric, and I'll continue to do this process till I get all of the pieces that I need to be at a 1/4 of an inch. So usually if you do the middle and then the end on either side of the fabric that you're trying to fold, then it makes it really easy. Then you can just grab the pieces that you need to fold over, and you essentially don't have to sit and hold this to every single section that you're folding, and it makes it a little easier for you. So I'm going to get this end now that I've done that other side. This is going to take you a little bit longer than you probably will like it to take, but if you don't do this correctly, your bag isn't going to turn out the correct size, because these are going to be, you're finishing the edges so that the fabric doesn't fray on you. And if you are making this too large and you're ironing too much of the fabric, then what you're essentially doing is making your drawstring bag even smaller than it is going to be as a finished product. So know that you'll probably get docked some points, but you're also going to be losing the space that you'll have in your bag. And nobody wants to lose that, because then you can't hold as much. So now that I've done it once, I already have a nice fold. You guys can see this crease. And I need to do this fold twice to each edge. So since I've done it once, I have a nice line to follow that I can just pretty much fold over. So all I have to do now, if I've done it correctly, is grab the fabric and fold until I've met the line of the other fabric that's been folded. So I'm going to do that again. And then iron it. Please be careful with the iron. I don't want you to burn yourselves. So now that I've done this edge, I am ready to sew. So if you look at this, yeah, I just said sew. So I fold the fabric twice, and it's 2 1/4 of an inch folds. So what I'm doing is taking a 1/2 of an inch off each side of the fabric edges. And since these are not folded yet, you can't tell. But when you are finished with this step, it should be all the way around the back. So the next step we're going to do is sew an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance on the edge of the fabric.